One second. The fat ass is at it again, lying. Fat ass 45 said that he saved 51 million jobs during the pandemic, but the economists and the U.S. officials say otherwise. Coming out of Washington, and coming from the news app called Reuters, standing before half a dozen American flags during a press conference at his country club in Bedminster, New Jersey, the fat ass 45 heralded what has become a central plank of his argument for re-election in November. He claims that his administration's handled the economic fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic through the historic relief package that he signed into law. He claims that his administration saved over 50 million American jobs. These are remarks that he said during August 15th, referring to his Democratic opponents. He said they don't like these kind of numbers because they think it will hurt them in the election. They don't like those kind of numbers because they know you're lying and they knew you didn't save that many. The the estimate that the $660 billion taxpayer-funded Paycheck Protection Program (PPP) saved some 51 million jobs has been trumpeted not just by fat ass 45, but also by the Republican Party, its congressional leadership, and the fake president's reelection campaign. On Monday, fat ass 45 touted it again at a Klan rally west of Charlotte, North Carolina, which was the site of the Republican National Convention. However, the PPP likely did not save 51 million jobs or anywhere close to it, according to Reuters and interviews with economists and analysts of the program's data. Only half a dozen economists put the number of jobs saved by the initiative at only a fraction of the 51 million. They ranged at only 1 to maybe 14 million jobs were saved and not 51 million as Fat Ass 45 has been touting. I don't think there is an economist who would say that the program has saved 50 million jobs, said Richard Priscenzano, who was a financial economist at the U.S. Department of the Treasury for 13 years before leaving in 2017. His rough estimate, Priscenzano said, is between 5 and 7 million jobs saved based on his own adjustments to other researchers' work at MIT and elsewhere. Officials in Fat Ass 45's own administration give varying explanations for the 51 million figure. In interviews with Reuters, officials from the Treasury Department and the Small Business Administration, also known as SBA, which oversee the PPP program, said that 51 million refers to the total number of workers reported by businesses approved for a loan, not the number of jobs that were saved. The White House chief economic advisor Larry Kudlow, a dumbass, gave some support to that assessment in an interview with Reuters, saying he surmised the jobs figure was the sum of all jobs at businesses that received PPP loans. We saved a lot of jobs, but there's no question about that. No, you didn't. The PPP was part of some $3 trillion was part of some $3 trillion bailout measures passed in the spring. At the time, there was little debate that funding was needed for small businesses as the economic blows from COVID-19 hit the United States. But since then, congressional Democrats have challenged the data on the program released by the administration in July. We've seen some inaccuracies with the data in terms of how they calculate how many jobs were protected and saved, said New Jersey Democratic Representative Andy Kim in August, who sits on the Small Business Committee. An economist with the Conservative Heritage Foundation also questioned the figures. This data does not tell us how many of those jobs may have existed without those loans. Additionally, everyone involved has an incentive to use inflated estimates, said Adam McKell, who's a senior policy analyst for fiscal policy at the foundation. McKell, who has not analyzed the data himself, had cited the same research that former Treasury official Priscenzano did, a paper co-authored by economists at the Federal Reserve Board of Governors, MIT, and ADP Research Institute. That study concluded that about 2.3 million jobs has been saved through early June. White House economic advisor Dumbass Kudlow said the Treasury and SBA had access to the list of companies and bank loans, and they made the calculations. You had to put on the form how many employees you have when you're applying for the loan, he said. My guess is that they add them all up. The uncertainty surrounding the 51 million figure was fueled by discrepancy between the information the SBA asked lenders to gather from borrowers and the information it asked those same lenders to enter into its loan processing portal. The SBA asked lenders only to gather each borrower's number of employees, but when lenders subsequently processed a loan in the SBA portal, the agency also asked for the number of jobs retained. Lenders often put the number of employees into the portal's jobs retained box, according to numerous people familiar with the process. Skewing the numbers in the other direction, some lenders left jobs retained blank or put in zero, the people said. But both the SBA and Treasury made officials available to speak with Reuters about the PPP on condition that they not be named. The senior Treasury official said the 51 million figure was not just a sum of the job totals at the recipient companies. It was supported by economic modeling as well. However, he added, we can't with any kind of certainty say that all 51 million jobs were saved or also lost otherwise. But this, because the figure isn't a count of jobs saved, the official added, we've been careful to always use the word jobs reported or jobs supported by the program. The SBA official confirmed that when borrowers filled out their applications, they supplied just the number of employees. It wasn't jobs retained. On August 21st, a week after Reuters interviewed the administration officials, the SBA appended a note to its monthly loan tallies, saying that to enhance accuracy, the SBA would, for now, label data as jobs reported, not jobs retained. Also on August 21st, the Small Business Administration had reissued the full PPP data set, fixing some of the programs and the problems that appeared when it was first made public in July, but the data still had holes. About 84,850 loans for amounts at $150,000 or above had a zero in the jobs reported column, and the column was left blank. That problem applied to about 13% of the loans that amounted to. The administration will have to wait until businesses apply for a loan forgiveness to get a solid estimate of how many jobs were saved, the economist and official said. Now, Fat Ass 45 kept touting himself as the jobs president, but he's not. Nailing down the numbers with the Fat Ass 45 campaign also remains difficult. Press for details on the 51 million figure Tuesday. Campaign spokesperson Tim Murtaugh said in an email that the PPP protected American companies which collectively employ 51 million Americans, as different from what the campaign claimed the day before on Twitter here, when I posted a note saying that Fat Ass 45's Paycheck Protection Program saved 51 million jobs, which it didn't. An estimate. This is an estimate, an animated counter ticked rapidly from 1 million to 51 million just below the message. They're claiming, the fat ass is the jobs president and he's fighting for you. He's not fighting for me, and he's not the jobs president because more people have been laid off since his fat ass started squatting in the White House. So no, he did not say 51 million jobs, as I knew he wouldn't. So if you like the video, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, Ryan Van Wyk, and also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out, and thanks for listening.